Time management has clearly not been my forte at the start of this year with how late this JRPGs I Played entry is, although I have had some stuff going on outside of making videos that definitely didn't help. I still, however, wanted to share what I played in the first month of this year because I actually played a lot, so it's better late than never that I'm here to share all the fun things that I started the year with. In the lead up to a certain new game, I enjoyed jumping back in its series, which involved pulling out many games of my collection and falling in love with my 3DS again. Before that game came out though, I was enjoying jumping into anything I could, which involved JRPG anime titles and a few demos that didn't totally hit. The mid-January was a colorful month before I dedicated the rest of my time to one game. It was a month I've been excited to talk about, and I'm happy to get into today, even if it's well into February. So finally, let's get into the JRPGs I played in January. All January, I was very aware of the fact that I wanted to review Fire Emblem Engage, but since it came out on the 20th and I had been done with Crisis Core Reunion's story since late December, I had some time before its release, which I decided to use on my Fire Emblem backlog, which meant my Fire Emblem Engage journey started with other Fire Emblem games. Since I knew Marth was going to be a big part of Engage, I dove into my Switch library and re-downloaded Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light as my first dive back into the series. I will be honest and say I only played 5 hours, as I did get a little exhausted by the slower gameplay, but it was nonetheless an interesting experience I was glad to have, as while it didn't really connect me to Marth as a character, it is Fire Emblem's roots, and to see all the shop visiting on the map and things like permadeath before doing these things in Engage, I think added to my experience as it let me see the core of the Fire Emblem series, along with also letting me enjoy its bright pixel style and awesome music too. The week coming up to Engage, I wanted to try one more Fire Emblem, which led me to remember something. My boyfriend and I own a fair few DS and 3DS Fire Emblem titles from when we first came to Japan and bought way too much from secondhand shops that prompted me to dig these up and charge my 3DS for the first time in years, and I ended up jumping into Fire Emblem Fates, which we have the Birthright version of. I'm not sure why I jumped into this particular game, as I was actually more interested in Fire Emblem Echoes, but I ended up being glad I did, as it made me re-fall in love with my 3DS again thanks to its gorgeous opening movie that hits different on that 3D screen. While I didn't get far in, it did introduce me to the premise of Fates, which helped me understand Corrin's parallel better when I got to it and Engage, and actually makes me want to play Fates properly sometime, along with also wanting to play 3DS more, as I haven't really played enough since when I finally got one in 2016. After these experiences, I finally played Engage when it came out on the 20th, and I was not disappointed. It was really interesting having my experience colored by having played a bit of old Fire Emblem before jumping into it. I appreciated the simplicity of just being able to attack enemies by basically dragging and dropping, and seeing characters like Marth in such a high quality way felt even more special after running around with his lo-fi pixel form. I actually often think about Nelke and the Legendary Alchemist and how fun it will be when I've played all the Atelier games and can have a super special playthrough understanding the overall world of Atelier and more, and it was fun to get a taste of this thanks to my time with Engage, along with enjoying its modern writing and visuals that gave me an enjoyable new Fire Emblem experience. Since then, I've recently put out my review for it that I'll link here that is my overall thoughts on the experience, with January being where I spent time discovering it after those other Fire Emblems before learning more about the Somniel and the things that make it its own unique entry, which seems to have been hit or miss with some people, which I was a little surprised about to read in my review comments, although I can understand as it does follow the Great Three Houses games. Since my review is out now, I'm done with Engage at the moment, and I'm hoping to jump into it the next time its expansion content comes out, which involves reuniting with Chrom from Awakening, which was my first Fire Emblem, so that's something I'm looking forward to. Until then, I look back very fondly on all the Fire Emblem experiences that helped make my time in Engage even better in January, and hope to do this kind of diving into my backlog with other games I play in future to help make for better JRPG experiences that can help me enjoy my games even more. While I played a lot of Fire Emblem, I also played a lot of other things in my free time before Engage, and while not everything stuck, it meant I had a good month both rediscovering and discovering different JRPG experiences. At first I thought I wanted to spend my time finishing everything in Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, which saw me play a fair few more of its missions at the beginning of the month. Things actually get quite hard in it once you go down that mission list though, that meant I had to be smart with my materia to keep going. I enjoyed doing this for an afternoon, but for new JRPG experiences I wanted to try came out, and I think it also satisfied my Crisis Core itch enough to probably mean I'm putting it down for a bit, but I'm glad to have gotten the chance to spend just a little more time with it. In terms of new things I tried out, on the train to work I tried the Dragon Quest Treasures demo and the one for Disgaea 7. I actually barely spent time with either of these though. I downloaded the Disgaea one in Japanese, and since it's themed around samurai values, I noticed I had trouble with its Japanese immediately, so I put that one down and hope to maybe try its English version in future. Then I tried Dragon Quest Treasures, which does look cute and fun, but I guess during my commute felt a little slow to start. I don't really know if it's a me problem or an it problem. All I know is that I put it down after 5 to 10 minutes in favor of listening to the NieR Anime's Current Pod podcast that grabbed my attention more and helped me be excited as I continued to watch NieR Automata's anime. And speaking of that, the final things I tried were the anime's NieR Automata version 1.1a and also Trails of Cold Steel Northern War, and I'm happy to say I was very impressed by both of them. I covered NieR's anime's first episode in a short, and since that episode I've watched the second one and it made me cry with its robot story that has me excited to see more, although it might be a bit as the series recently has unfortunately been delayed. As for Northern War, I really liked it as well. For both of these anime, I actually found the use of silence really interesting, as we don't hear the protagonist speak in this until after the first fight that made for an exciting reveal when we finally saw her face and started to get to know her as a character. I also like how the anime spent time focusing on the townspeople as well, that makes it feel very true to the Trails series. I'm pretty sure I only watched the first 2 episodes before Engage came out, so I'll have to jump back into it sometime soon, but both of these shows showed me how good JRPG anime can be, which has me looking forward to watching them more and seeing what other smaller things may creep into my February as we continue into another month of JRPGs. We're well into February at this point, and you've all hopefully seen my thoughts on the main thing that occupied my time this month, which was finishing up Fire Emblem Engage. In terms of other releases though, there's plenty of things to play for JRPG fans, such as Octopath Traveler II on the 24th and Like a Dragon Ishin on the 21st, but I'm actually putting these aside for a more niche game and a rhythm one, as they're the things I'm most excited to spend time with. Void Terrarium 2 is basically my most anticipated game for this month, so I'll be making some time to get into that on the 28th, as I can't wait to continue Robbie and Tariko's journey with plans to review it. I loved the first game and the demo for 2 that I'm very glad is now out in English. That is a good way to test the game with extra story, and I'm looking forward to focusing on it like I did with Engage, but hopefully with better time management that should see JRPGs I Played in February come out at a good pace. I've also been lucky enough to receive a code for Theatrhythm Final Bar Line that just came out, and I'll at least be talking about that in the next JRPGs I Played. Theatrhythm has always been a game I wanted to play that eluded me thanks to not owning a 3DS for a long time, and with so many songs coming in this new one, I'm pretty excited to get into it. This is pretty much all I can fit in at the end of the month, and it's a crowded month that I've had to accept I can't play everything in. Aside from Octopath 2 and Ishin, Blue Reflection Sun came out recently in Japanese that I of course want to try, along with Digimon Next Order coming to Switch, and also Xenoblade 3's next expansion wave. March is also going to be a busy month with certain things I'm very excited for though, so I'm trying not to take on too much and instead enjoy the rest of February with the experience I have and make the most with my time with them. I hope you guys aren't having too hard of a time juggling a lot of games, and I hope you're enjoying the new and old things in your collection as we enjoy the rest of this month and prepare to get into another month of great JRPGs. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you played in January if you remember, and what you plan to play this month or at least for the rest of it. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to those will be in the description below, and until next time, thank you, bye!